Welcome back everyone to the channel, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my little what if series, the alternate reality, the experimental videos, save games that you can do with Football Manager in 2024, and this one is no different. We are going to be saving Scunthorpe United with Wonderkids from the actual game. Now what I've gone and done is basically into the database editor. I've done nothing to Scunthorpe at all. I haven't changed their finances, their facilities or anything. They are still down in the Vanarama National North, I believe it is. Let me just double check I got that right. Vanarama National League North, yeah. So they got relegated out of the National League last season. They are a club in an absolute mess. Pretty synonymous with what is actually happening with the town in real life as well. Scunthorpe as a town itself is under a lot of pressure, especially from their steel industry, and having their football team relegated certainly hasn't helped matters in the morale of the place. So I wanted to do this little experiment using Wonderkids only, and basically how I did that was I went onto FM Scout. I had a look at their Wonderkid list and basically picked out near enough the top players for every position to play in for a 4-3-3, like sort of a usual Gegenpress system. So I will show you guys now who I've put into the team. As you'll see, one of their key players is already there, is Ousmane Diomande. Most regular players will know that he is an absolute beast of a centre-back. But we'll have a look at the squad anyway. Right, so starting from the top, I put in Bart Verbruggen from Brighton, I believe he's at. Highly rated goalkeeper, only 20 years old. Perfectionist personality as well. Then in defence, Antonio Silva, Ousmane Diomande, Michael Coyote and Matteo Ruggeri. If you guys haven't picked up this left back from Italy yet, you're missing out. I got him from, where is he playing at? Atalanta, and he was part of my Esposito saga save, and he is brilliant. He's an excellent left back on this game. Then into the midfield, I brought in Gabriel Moscardo, who is fantastic. Again, was in my Dortmund save, absolutely brilliant. Ended up selling him for like 100 million to Man City. Archie Gray is another one who I had in my Dortmund save, who I absolutely love on this game. I think he's brilliant, and he's starting to show that promise in real life as well. Getting regular game time for Leeds in the Championship. I think this guy could be an absolute baller. Then, obviously, everybody knows Rooney Bardghji, who has come over from Copenhagen. And a couple of other my favourite players are in here. Tommaso Baldanzi, who is outstanding on this game, along with Hassan Ouedraogo. Then to finish it off, I brought in João Rego and Shaquille Van Persie. Now, obviously, I can't show the tactics as yet because nothing's been picked, and I'm not the manager of the club, so we'll just have to go with it. But I think I think this team should be able to get them out of the Vanarama National League North. That being said, if we have a look at the overview of Scunthorpe, their reputation is low, training facilities are low, their youth recruitment youth facilities are all low, their finances not looking the best. So what I'm going to do, instead of just doing the normal one season and then skipping on, I'm going to skip on straight 5 seasons, see where Scunthorpe end up. So this is going to be a 10-season experiment. I'm going to do 5 seasons first, then 5 seasons after, see the development, see where they end up. So that being said, I'll see you in a few seconds once these first 5 seasons are done. And boom, there we have it. After the first 5 seasons, Scunthorpe are back up in the Championship already. So that, to me, I'll have a look at the history in a second, would say that they've had back-to-back promotions, I believe. But looking at this, their captain is obviously Antonio Silva now, Ousmane Diomande is the vice-captain, and Archie Gray is their key player. I expected as much. At the end of the day, it's just a funny little experiment. I know they're overpowered players for this level of the league, but I wanted to see how far they could push Scunthorpe in 10 years. So as you can see, the training facilities haven't been adjusted. The reputation has gone up a little bit, and the finances are looking a lot better. Overall balance of 2.5 million, transfer budget of 8. No wonder the club's in the mess if they're giving them a transfer budget of 4 times the amount of what's actually in the bank balance. That's ridiculous. Let's have a quick look at their history. So as we can see, we started off, we started off here. So yep, they finished first. So it looks like they got the, yep, there you go, the National North in 2024. They also won an FA Trophy in 2024, so they did a double. Then they won the National League the season after. They've won a Bristol Street Motors Trophy, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is the Papa John's. I think it's the rename of the Papa John's, I think. Then they won the Sky Bet League 2 and the Sky Bet League 1. So they're into the Championship, which would be that one. And it looks like they finished their first season in the Championship at 9th, which, to be fair, on 70 points is not too bad at all, not too shabby. If we have a look at their squad, look at their top players. So let's have a look at appearances. Who's been playing? Ruggieri, Moscardo, Jalrego, Silva, Verbruggen, Gray, Van Persie, Bardaggi, Coyote, Diamonde, Baldanzi, and the only one who's not played that as much as I thought he would is Wadrego. I'm quite disappointed in that. But besides that, it looks like, yeah, they are still the mainstays of the team. So they've been together 5 years, they've done all those promotions, which has worked out really, really well. Let's see if we can, they're developing a little bit. Jalrego, well, he's developed really well actually, considering. Speaking of Jalrego, let's have a quick look at his, so yeah, consistently all the way through. And he's shown that consistency as well. Archie Gray is another one. Developed really, really well. The only thing I think that's going to let these players down is probably the facilities and the training. Shaquille Van Persie, fantastic striker. All the potential in the world. If we have a look at... Ooh, no, didn't mean to do that. Still the same manager as well, Jimmy Dean. Scunthorpe manager all the way through. That's not bad actually, to be fair, they've stuck with him, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to simulate the next 5 seasons to finish off this experiment to see if this team, now they play together for 5 years, they're all reaching that like sort of early to mid 20s age range, so they're coming into their prime now for the next 5 seasons to see if they can push them up to the next level into the Premier League and keep them in the Premier League. That's going to be the big one. Let's go and find out, shall we? Well, this doesn't look promising, does it? We're still got Scunthorpe in the Championship. Have this team, who are now all into their late 20s, early 30s, managed a Premier League at all? Let's have a look. And the answer is no. Well, they do say the Championship is the hardest league to get out of, and they've come close. So, obviously, they won League One there, and then they finished 9th in their first season. Then 10th, then 3rd, so they playoffs, and they've missed out on the playoffs every single time. Now, they've still got Jimmy Dean as manager, which, to be honest, looking at that, I am very surprised at. I would have thought with these players in this squad and the talent that is available, Scunthorpe would have sacked him for not getting promoted again and brought in a new manager. I'm very, very surprised at that. Because he's been there 10 years. He's been there through the entire thing, which I think it's probably spoiled the experiment a little bit, to be fair. But hey, that's the AI for you. Even the training facilities, the investment, they've not... Another thing I was hoping with the back-to-back promotions would be that a tycoon would come in, bail them out, inject a load of money, improve the facilities, because that usually does happen. If you get a really successful team who does all those promotions, a tycoon usually does come in on the game and buys them out and invests a load of money, but it just hasn't happened this time. So I don't know whether it is just the curse of Scunthorpe that nobody really wants to invest in them. It's weird, because the balance hasn't changed that much. The transfer budget, it's not been adjusted that much. Quick look at the transfer history. So this season they didn't buy anybody in, only a couple of players out. $1 million spent there, $1 million spent there, $4.5 million there, $2 million there. Okay, they spent a bit there on their first season. I think that was in the championship, but the investment it's not there at all. I'm really surprised at that. But the aim of this experiment was to make sure Scunthorpe survived and thrived. I would say, all in all, that has been successful with these Wonder Kids. A couple of things, if they were tweaked or changed, i.e. the manager being changed or some more investment coming into the club, could this team go on and perform in the Premier League? Absolutely. Totally. But unfortunately that didn't happen in this one, but the Irons were still saved. And there concludes the experiment. So if you have enjoyed this, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Plenty more videos like this, weird and little wacky experimental videos, as well as a lot of different like sort of let's play, rebuild, saves and all that sort of stuff. A couple of links in the description will be left as well. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.